But there's a young man waiting on the phone.
As always, on the second Tuesday of the month, we welcome Senator Ted Budd. Good morning.
Well, good morning. Trying to catch up with you on the birthdays here. So happy belated. Hope it was a great one.
So when is your birthday?
Next month, October.
Okay. I'll look that up in Wikipedia. I'm sure it's there.
Sure it's inaccurate.
Yeah, that's true. I'm sure it's inaccurate. It'll be wrong at that point.
The reservoir of American knowledge.
Well, speaking of reservoir, here we are again with cold and flu season.
No.
And we're seeing a resurgence, apparently, in some kind of variation of COVID, which has led to several cities, towns, states, municipalities to once again bring out the mask. And you have just co-sponsored an act to ban federal mask mandates. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, I helped lead this with my colleague from Ohio, Senator J.D. Vance. It is, the American people, they're through with COVID mandates. They're tired of it. I think even people in a state like California or in New York are fed up with it, but certainly we are here in North Carolina. So we just got to say enough. If somebody wants to wear one, if they've got a personal reason for that or a family reason, look, that's on them. That's up to them. And I don't think we should poke fun at that. But for somebody that wants to mandate it or say that everyone should wear it, I'm totally opposed to that. We really need to trust each individual to make the best decision for their own health. And what this does is it prohibits any federal official, including the president, from issuing mask mandates on air travel, domestic, and then public transit, and primary, secondary, and post-secondary schools. And I think that's where you got to put your foot down and say, look, we're going to deal with it if it's a legitimate concern. And I think there's a lot of skepticism out there, a lot of mistrust out there, and it's well-deserved. But I think we need to, first of all, start with a mask mandate so we realize that you can't shove this down people's throats.
So this is a federal mandate, but if, for example, Roy Cooper or Vi Lyles, as the mayor of Charlotte, wanted to impose mask mandate on CATS, the bus system that runs through Charlotte, they could do that?
Yeah, I've got this barn cat around the farm, and I'm just thinking, how am I going to put a mask on that thing?
I knew that was coming.
Without getting a little cat scratch fever. That's going to be up to the state legislature to handle that, but and we've got a great state legislature. Those folks are my heroes, and they go to Raleigh for us. But I'm going to handle the federal side of it, and that's why we want to prevent anything federal from the administration or the president from doing another mandate.
Switch gears here just a minute. You and Senator Cassidy and Senator Thune and Senator Cornyn, and I think that probably a dozen more colleagues introduced a Congressional Review Act, a companion to what Virginia Foxx and her friends in the House have entered to overturn the new Biden student loan scheme. Again, talk to us about that.
Yeah, I mean, that costs taxpayers almost $560 billion. It's unconstitutional. Most Americans do not have a 4-year or college degree. And this essentially is a wealth transfer of hardworking taxpayers to upper-class elites. It's a blanket forgiveness of student debt, and it provides the greatest benefit to the highest earning individuals at the expense of hardworking taxpayers. I just think it's completely unfair. And, all the way, I mean, already Biden's first executive action on this was ruled unconstitutional. And let's just remember that it's Congress that changes the law, not the president here. So it's already been ruled against, and now he's trying another variation of it, and we expect that will follow the same path. It will be unconstitutional.
You have long been an ardent supporter of doing something at our border. We know we have a border problem. We know we have a crisis, although the Secretary won't say we have a crisis. And we get distracted by shiny objects, and we get thrown curveballs, and I haven't heard much about what's going on at the border lately. Can you bring us up to speed?
Yeah, it's the same challenges. I mean, we've had accumulated 7 million people that have crossed in the last 2 years, and it's an absolute tragedy. After Title 42 ended, there was a pause as the cartels and the coyotes that transport human trafficking across the border, as they retooled and refigured what the law and the enforcement mechanisms would be. But we're still seeing the Biden administration asleep at the switch. We've lost over 100,000 men and women. And the leading cause of death between those 18 and 45 years old, especially young men, is from fentanyl, and that's come across. It's from China to Mexico through our borders. You got human trafficking coming across, and it's an absolute tragedy. And we've just seen, the news pipeline can only fit so much. People's attention spans can only fit so much, but it's as bad as it's ever been. And it's a heartbreaking human and humanitarian crisis. I lay that at the feet of the Biden administration. It's completely their fault. We know how to fix this. This used to be a issue that wasn't partisan, but now it is for some unfortunate reason. But we're right on this. We've got to stop the border. If you want a big gate so we can let the right people in, that's fine. But we got to know who's coming in. And the Biden administration has been completely off track and asleep at the switch on this.
I had an opportunity to talk with our sheriff, Darren Campbell, the other day, and I don't think I have the matrix right, but I think something along the lines of year to date, we've had enough fentanyl come into North Carolina to kill 85% of the population of the state.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge.
Oh, yeah, because it takes such a tiny amount.
And it didn't cross the border from South Carolina.
Told me, your Sheriff Campbell told me there was enough in one trunk of a car stopped there in Iredell County to kill 250,000 people. That's in one traffic stop.
Wow.
And in addition to that, we've already seen in fiscal year 2023. Remember that ends here in a few days, right? Because it ends at the end of September. But we have seen 38 individuals on the terrorist watch list caught at the border. That's just the ones we caught. Now, there's an estimated 1.4 million gotaways. That's not the ones you caught. That's the one you saw, and they got away, not even including the unknowns beyond that. So it's completely tragic what's happening down there.
Well, you just mentioned the fact that the fiscal year ends here in, what would it be, 18 days, plus or minus? Are we headed towards a continuing resolution?
Well, that would keep it open at the current spending levels. But you've got the House with the Republican majority, which is past spending. They're saying, look, but they want some cuts in there. Then you have the Senate, which is for another proposal. I don't see if the House with Republicans can get together enough votes to keep the government open. So we'll see. People are betting on, you never want to be for a shutdown. You might want to be for the policies that are right, and people may not agree to it, thus leading to a shutdown. But you want to keep things open and running, but you don't want to blow the budget as the Democrats have been doing over the last several years. We got a lot of things to fix, so we're watching it hour by hour as negotiations are in play right now.
I believe it was yesterday or day before that Treasury Secretary Yellen said that she's feeling very good about the fact that she feels we will avoid a recession. I think you'd have to say we're on a path that looks like that. What are you hearing? Of course, that's coming from one person on one side of the aisle.
I see a lot of information that comes out of the Biden administration and sometimes the Fed that try to gloss over what people are really feeling. I mean, groceries are more expensive. Life is more challenging. People are worried about crime. People aren't optimistic right now. Biden's got a 36% approval rating. So there's real challenges on there, and Bidenomics is what's driving a lot of that. So I think there's real challenges. Look, you never want to be for a recession. You want to be for a growing economy that helps all of us. Rising tide floats all boats. But we just see an administration that demonstrates a lot of incompetence in regards to the economy. We should be able, the way that we're positioned in regards to trade, our workforce, the talents we have, our infrastructure. I mean, while we have things to work on and improve, America could be so much stronger, but we see a lot of weakness projected from the Biden administration.
We've got a lot of global issues, obviously. We always have, but I saw in the news this morning that Kim Jong-un and Putin are scheduled to meet. Of course, we have the elephant in the room, China. So globally, what are your concerns?
Yeah, this is, one of the problems, it starts with American weakness, which I just talked about in regards to the economy, which is right from the heart of the Biden administration. A lot of these problems would not happen if we had been strong in Afghanistan. So we're seeing a cascading effect from a botched demonstration of weakness in Afghanistan August 2 years ago. And now you've seen Russia invade Ukraine. You're seeing North Korea, which had been held at bay under the Trump administration, now dealing with undersea submarine, perhaps even nuclear submarine power and negotiations with Russia, and building nuclear weapons with Russia, and additional selling, and trading with China on high technology. So this is all a result of Biden's weakness on the world stage. And we need a strong American president that leads us, and makes things safe again. You might have had some mean tweets under President Trump, but wouldn't you rather have a world where you weren't worried about North Korea launching a nuclear sub off of the West Coast?
There's something to be said about being able to put your head on the pillow at night and sleep, isn't it?
That's right.
Yep.
Absolutely. You can turn off the tweets, but you can't turn off North Korea's nuclear weapons.
That's exactly right. Well, as always, we appreciate what you do for us here. We appreciate what you do for the great state of North Carolina and for the country, and look forward to talking to you again next month.
Always enjoy it. God bless you all. Talk to you soon.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Thank you.
All right.